Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to talk about the journey of the Mage in Legion. How he went from the top damage to the bottom and back to the top with two different specs. As we all know, the Mage has suffered hard from the artifact power and legendary system, making it hard for people to change specs. So how did we get to the point where we are right now? Well, when looking back and reminisce, Mage had a bright future when Legion launched. Fire was obviously the best spec and it was a lot of fun to play. People were attracted by the fast and bursty gameplay, a spec that was both strong in AoE and single target. So it was decided, most of the mages would play Fire. At max level we started out doing Mythic Plus and the first raid tier Emerald Nightmare. It was clear as day that Fire had an answer on every boss mechanic. Yep, here it comes, one of the reasons why I don't like Fire anymore these days. Freaking ice flows. It was so amazingly overpowered, hardcasting that 300% damage increased Pyroblast. Right from the start I told my guildmates that I would be surprised if Fire wouldn't get nerfed in patch 7.15. However, Blizzard was assuring us Fire mages that nothing was going to change, and I quote them, "If Fire is so strong, then we will bring every class on the same level as Fire." The last weeks before patch 7.15, I was checking out the PTR and I was amazed by the changes they made to the Fire Mage. No more ice flows, damage during combustion got nerfed by 50%, Rune of Power got nerfed by 10%, and so on. All in all, the Fire Mage was getting reworked and stacking all our cooldowns for that big juicy combustion window was gone. But of course we mages had all those traits and legendaries dedicated for Fire. But because Fire was still strong in Mythic Plus and AoE fights, we got a false feeling that it was still strong in patch 7.15. Then came the Nighthold, in which a lot of ad fights made us think of Fire as still the best spec to play. Then again, a false assumption. I wasn't enjoying Fire anymore, so I began checking the logs on the last 3 bosses on Heroic, and of course also the Mythic logs. And there it was, Frost was performing so much better than Fire and Arcane. As a result, I went ahead and gave Frost a try. It was hard because I didn't have as many traits and not one good Frost legendary. But I knew that Frost was going to pull ahead, so I had to be persistent. Frost was a spec that was based on extending your icy veins as long as you could, which required a lot of min-maxing. It was skill based and I personally really like skill based specs. The only problem with Frost was the fact that it is a highly legendary dependent spec. The legendary hands were mandatory if you wanted to rock icy veins for the entire length of a fight. And oh yeah, you guys can guess it, Frost had ice flows. This was all before patch 7.2 was launched, and it came to my ears that they would give everyone the baseline of 54 traits in patch 7.2. I was absolutely sure without a doubt that all of the Fire mages would go and play Frost, because it was beating Fire and Arcane by a long shot. It was mobile, good on cleave fights, a splitting ice natural, and the bomb on single target. Also, it had freezing rain and the list goes on. I think everyone saw Preach's video on the Frost Mage, how he said that it was time for something new, but it was clear to me that it wasn't because he wanted something new, it was because Frost was outperforming every other mage spec by a long shot. Patch 7.2 went live, and yep, all Fire mages went Frost, like I foretold. We all have a lot of fun with Frost, it is performing so good like Fire in the beginning of Legion, it is strong on AoE, but definitely obliterates every other class on single target. Which brings me to the recent events. In the PTR, Frost mages are getting sort of a nerf with Thermal Void. All of us mages are holding our breath and hoping that we don't get a major nerf. Personally, I think that people are getting seriously tired and are done with the spec changing. Especially because Legion is so bad when it comes to switching in between specs, as you want to get the most out of your character. It's an MMORPG, and also being competitive is a part of playing video games. But that has been almost made impossible with the AP and legendary grinding. I saw a lot of Fire mages in my guild simply quit Legion after patch 7.15 because they couldn't be bothered with doing the same grind all over again for a different spec. Most of you guys probably think the same way, and it would be a shame if we would be forced to change specs once again in 2 more Sagaras, simply due to the fact that one spec will outperform the other one by a long shot. like Fire in Emerald Nightmare, Trial of Valor, and now Frost in the Nighthold raid. It would be a shame if we would be forced to change specs once again, and that on every single raid tier. It wouldn't be such a major problem when it would only be a matter of reworking your stats and getting other trinkets. But that's not the case thanks to the, no offense, bad game design around the legendaries and artifact traits. So now it's out there, let's hope Blizzard will listen to the Mage community and keep stuff interesting before losing again a great number of players. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you have been enjoying my channel so far. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Go check out my streaming schedule on Twitch. As always, the links are in the description box. Take care, guys, and I'll see you next time.